Hi, this is Nanette Hosenfeld with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Saturday, August 5th, 2017. Looking at the next few days for today, our main fire potential impact will be some mixed wet and dry thunderstorms across the red highlighted area on the map. We will also see some gusty winds and low relative humidity across portions of Idaho, far northeastern Utah, and far northeastern Nevada, and far northern Utah. That's the orange area highlighted on the map. As we move into Sunday, we will see lightning continue to spread north as moisture increases from south to north. And as a result of that increasing moisture, we will see those mixed wet and dry thunderstorms expand further eastward. And then on Monday, you can see how that northern expansion makes it up into Idaho, with a concern for some wet and dry thunderstorms across Idaho by Monday. With that expanding moisture, we will see increasingly wet thunderstorms across the south. And with all of these thunderstorms, there is a potential for some gusty outflow winds. Over the past 24 hours, there was quite a bit of precipitation across the southern part of the area, quite a bit of lightning as well, and you can see that south central Nevada saw, a fair amount of lightning with not too much precipitation associated with it. Fire activity is moderate across the Great Basin. There are some new larger fires that have popped up over the past few days. Looking at precipitation over the past 30 days, you can see from the image on the left that much of the Great Basin has received precipitation over the past month. However, for most areas in the Great Basin, that precipitation is below normal. The image on the right shows how that precipitation compares to normal, and it's really only the southern part of the areas that have seen above normal to normal precipitation over the past 30 days. ERCs have continued to rise across the north, where it has been hotter and drier. You can see many of the raw stations in above the 90th percentile, a couple above the 97th percentile. And if we look at the ERC charts, you can see how they've really climbed over the past month. Live fuel moistures are dropping as well across these drier areas, as you would expect, with sagebrush in western Nevada below normal. The satellite this morning shows some moisture across the southeastern part of the Great Basin. You can see these clouds, and that is indicative of the moisture that we are expecting to bring dry lightning to some portions of the Great Basin through about Monday. So for this afternoon, you can see that moisture in place across the southern part of the Great Basin. We are concerned about lightning across western Nevada, as that is where there will be the greatest potential for dry lightning. And looking at that in a little more detail, again, you can see storms are expected across the southern part of the Great Basin, and some pockets of gusty winds this afternoon. You can see these lighter blue colors are winds in the 20 to 25 mile an hour range by this afternoon. As we move into Sunday, that moisture shifts north and east a bit, and with that moving moisture to the north and east, we are highlighting further east in Nevada for the concern of dry lightning. And again, looking at that in more detail, you can see really much of the southern part of the Great Basin will see that threat of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, but our main concern is across northern Nevada, where those storms will be the driest. If we look at the winds over here, you can see they really decrease into Sunday. Pretty light winds expected by Sunday afternoon. As we move into Monday, that moisture continues to shift northward, and by Monday, the concern for dry lightning is across much of Idaho. Again, looking in more detail, you can see how that storm coverage shifts north on Monday, and again, quite light winds on Monday afternoon. So over the next 3 days, precipitation is expected across much of the Great Basin, with the greatest accumulations across the southern part of the area. As we move into Tuesday, that moisture shifts to the north and east, and there's not, at this time, we're not highlighting any areas for concern for dry lightning on Tuesday. As we move into Wednesday, some of that moisture lingers across the northern part of the area, and you can see that we are going into the low risk categories for some of our northern areas in the Great Basin. Moisture remains in place across much of the Great Basin, with a little drying across the south on Thursday. And as we move into Friday, that drier air continues to make its way into the southern part of the Great Basin, while lingering moisture remains across many areas on Friday. Over the next 7 days, really quite a bit of precipitation across the Great Basin, and some areas that haven't seen too much precipitation are expected to see some rainfall over the next 7 days, particularly northern Nevada and much of Idaho. Finally, an 8 to 14 day outlook, the Climate Prediction Center is calling for above normal temperatures across the western part of the Great Basin, below normal temperatures across the eastern part of the Great Basin. And as far as precipitation, they're calling for above normal precipitation across the northern part of our area, with below normal precipitation across the south. So this is kind of a flip-flop from what we've seen for the past month and a half. And moving forward, the forecast calls for wetter conditions up north with drying across the south. So that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Our information is on the screen, and you can also find us on Twitter. Thanks.